Hi and welcome to my channel. Let's go over how to make a Tunisian crochet pinwheel. For this technique, you will need two different colors and a crochet hook. I am just using a normal crochet hook because my circle will not be that big. Start with your main color you want to use, and we're going to create a slip knot. I completely forgot to do it in the next clip, but make sure you leave a 6 to 8 inch tail on your slip knot. Next, you want to chain a multiple of 2 plus 1. I did 13 for this example. Now we're going to be doing a Tunisian simple stitch across this foundation row. I am just going to go over it really quickly, so if you would like a more in-depth tutorial, please watch this video here. So to Tunisian simple stitch, we're just going to pick up a loop in the back bump of every chain across, and then once we get to the end, we're going to return pass by yarning over and pulling through 1, and then yarning over, pulling through 2 across until 1 loop is left on our hook. So now that our foundation row is done, we can start our first wedge of the pinwheel. So here are the instructions on how to create the pinwheel. Your first loop on your hook is your first stitch, and we're going to Tunisian simple stitch across 2 times. So you should have 3 loops on your hook. And then we're going to return pass on those by yarning over, pulling through 1, and then yarning over, pulling through 2 across until 1 loop is left on our hook. Then for the next row, we're going to pull up 2 loops again, but when going into the second loop, we are only going in the front loop, not the back like we normally do for a last Tunisian simple stitch. Then we're going to go in the 2 in the foundation row. Each row you complete should have an odd number of loops on your hook. Once you have that, then we will return pass like normal. Now we're just going to continue repeating those steps all the way down until we have no more stitches left on our foundation row. So we're going to pick up every loop down our row, go into the front loop only on that last stitch of our row, then pick up 2 stitches on the foundation row, and then return pass. Continue those steps until you meet the last 2 on your foundation row, and then we'll pick back up from there. So you should now have the second to last loop left and the last Tunisian simple stitch. We're going to go in the first one like normal, but for the last one, we're actually going to go into the first chain we made on our foundation chain instead. The end of every wedge is going to end in that same exact space. Now we're just going to return pass like normal, but once we get to the last 2 stitches, we're going to change colors to our new wedge. So to change colors, I'm going to just grab my white color, and then that last pull through we have to do for a return pass, we're going to do so with our new color. Tie my end and my old color together, that way they are more secure, and then I will cut off the old color. So now you're just going to start the entire process over again by having 3 loops across, return pass, 5 loops across, return pass, like so, and ending in the very first chain that we made. So as you're making your wedges, you should start to have something that looks a little like this. The number of wedges that you have may depend on the chain amount that you start with and also just the gauge of the yarn that you're using. But here I am just creating my very last wedge. It should fit perfectly in that little space that you saw. So I wanted to show also where your last stitches should go. So all of your last stitches should have been going in that first chain. So you should have a really nice looking circle in the middle of your pinwheel. And your pinwheel should look a little something like this. So now we need to join that edge up so we can complete our circle. So this is where that 6 to 8 inch tail that we left comes in. We're going to use that to sew up that space. I recommend getting a tapestry needle. That is usually the easiest way to do it. You can use a crochet hook if you want, but I find the tapestry needle very easy to use for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath the vertical bars on both sides. So we're going to go under one and then under the other, all the way down that space, and that really just creates a clean joined edge of the circle. And you can pull that tail tight, and that just creates a really nice cinched up join of that sew. And then when you're done sewing, we're just going to tie a knot at the end so we can secure it. And there you go. That is how you create a Tunisian crochet pinwheel, or just a Tunisian crochet circle in general. If you found this tutorial helpful, I would absolutely love it if you gave this video a like, and you can also subscribe for other Tunisian crochet tutorials and just fun videos from me.